Redhead Rachel. Great idea, Redhead Rachel.
Hi, Paige.
Ew. 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 Ew.
What are you saying? Ew.
Don't start. Hey, Paige.
Hi, Paige.
No, it sounds weird.
Why? P? I don't call you P.
Sometimes.
What do I call you?
I don't know, but it sounded very professional. I don't
honestly
like
don't
it.
feel like I ever say your name. I'm never saying your name to you. I don't know what I say. Paige.
But I say your name to you all the time.
Well, great idea, Redhead Rachel.
Yeah, but it sounded, I think it's just like in the, like, okay, last time you were on the podcast, obviously we were in my studio in my apartment. And I feel like you were just like, hey, Paige, thanks for having me. That's what I felt like.
Is that what I did?
Kind of.
And that's what you want from me?
I don't want that. I want you to be relaxed.
Hi, Paige. How are ya?
Ew, no. Just take a drink.
Well,
take a drink.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Welcome to your new studio.
Yeah, you're
so
my
excited
first
to be here.
Yes.
Except you're too big for your britches now, and you left me waiting in the lobby for 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
I got here at 6:10.
Well, you said you were going to get here 6:20.
Well, you said text me when you get here, and then they'll call the producer, and he'll come out and get you. And I was left talking to the doorman for 20 minutes.
Well, you were 10 minutes early, so take accountability for the 10.
Well, I didn't know what parking was going to be like, so I'm early. Did you want me to be late?
No.
So
listen,
now you got this nice big studio,
Linda.
and you just let everybody wait for. You've got other things going on.
I sure do. Listen, Linda, here's the thing. You were my first guest in my last studio for season 3.
Yeah.
When it took like 2 hours to get situated.
Oh, yeah.
With Cinco and I.
All right. So this is on brand.
So this is why. This is one of the reasons why I wanted you to be my first guest.
Because I allow you to treat me this way.
Yeah.
Oh. You don't want to do this to like Dr. Viviana.
Right.
Carolina.
Yeah, we're still figuring out the kinks.
Yeah.
And I was just telling, like if you're watching on YouTube, you can see like we don't have the curtains up yet and, stuff like that. Like we're still working on the end goal for this, for like my set.
I think it looks good though.
Oh my gosh, no, I'm very happy with Creators Guild, very happy with Kari and Braxton. Thank you, and LP and everyone. But like, it's just going to take some getting used to. And so that's why I was like, I wanted you to be the guest because 1, yeah, you'll just let me treat you like shit. But 2, it's comfortable to have you here,
Okay.
even though you're probably judging me and so going to talk shit. What I wanted to ask you is like, you're a good shit talker. And so do you talk a lot of shit about me?
No. Who would I talk shit about you with?
I don't know.
That's the thing. Like if we had another close friend that like I was close friends with,
yeah,
then maybe I would talk
But you're never
shit.
like, Paige is so
There's
annoying
not another
with her podcast.
person. No, there's not another person that like we're going out to dinner with and we're talking shit about you.
Right. Okay.
We don't really talk shit about anybody.
No, I'm just saying like you're very opinionated, which I am too, but like I'm just wondering like with the podcast, are people like,
no, if
Pages?
people ever say anything, I'm like, girls, try, she's working
Yeah.
so hard on her goals. And I'm like, don't talk shit about her. Not that anyone's talking shit about her.
whoa.
They're like that Instagram.
The what?
No, I'm joking.
The what?
No, like that Instagram,
What?
she's putting herself out there. I'm like, yeah.
I'm sure people
Scary.
are. And honestly, that just means, I think it is natural, by the way, for people to be a little judgmental or a little bit like, oh, that's different than what I'm normally used to seeing, and like making comments. And I don't think it's actually all like judgmental and talking shit. I think it's just having an opinion. And I think that's fine.
My opinion on the matter, and that's what I say out loud, is, and we've talked about this before, I started my own company. This is your baby that you've started. So I have like the utmost respect for people that start something and, it takes a while to, you've been doing this for a long time and, you're not making all the money, but you're still like gung-ho and full force on it. And I have so much respect for anybody who will do that and like don't see the blinders.
Yeah.
Just like focus. So,
Okay.
yeah. I don't talk shit about you.
Okay, good. Just checking. Because your sister is my number 1 fan anyway.
Literally
Katie,
number one
shout
fan.
out. Literally my number 1 whiner.
About you.
Yay!
Yeah.
Love that.
And like, I'm not really, people say I'm a shit talker, but like, not really.
I'm not, I just mean you're a good, I didn't mean like you talk a lot of shit. I meant like
I bust
like it's
people's
funny.
balls.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You're a
but
good
I don't
shit
do
talker.
it when it's like real. I would never like shit. I don't shit talk about people when it's like real stuff. I just like bust people's balls for
ball
stuff.
bust.
Like you leaving me out in the lobby for 20 minutes. Like,
right.
I'm gonna bust your balls about
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Exactly.
But your doorman's lovely. He's from South Africa, and then he lived in Australia, and then he lived in London for a while. But then the bombings happened, so he left. He's been here for 6 years, and he really, really likes it. We're the nicest people he's ever met.
Did you tell him anything about yourself? Like, what was your spiel?
He asked me about how long I've lived here. And I said, like, I grew up here and then I moved away and then I came back. But really, I think it was like a way for him to talk about, he's asking the question so that, because I don't even think I asked the question back. I think somebody came like with a delivery. And so we got like interrupted. And then the delivery left. And then he went right into, well, I've been here for 6 years. Like without me even asking
he really wanted to talk about himself.
Yeah.
Which he might not get the chance to a lot.
Yeah. I told him about Adultish Wines. He doesn't really get to listen to a lot of podcasts because he says it is very busy at the desk. So like people are coming and going. He can't really listen to podcasts. They get interrupted. But he definitely said he was going to look it up. And he did say that there was 2 really famous TikTokers that live here. So do your research. He doesn't know who they are, but he knows that all they do is TikTok. So they must make...
Perfect.
So I got all the tea.
Season 4, we are... And by the way, you should feel good because season 4 is we're moving on up. Like moving on up.
Look at the studio.
Look at the studio, but also like I am never gonna go away from my hometown hero, vibe. Like always gonna have people to make connections with in the real world on. But I am gonna be having some exciting guests that like I don't know in person. They're gonna be remote, calling in and stuff like that.
Like
so like maybe some. It's not for me to say right now. Great idea, Redhead Rachel. But like. TikTokers or CEOs or influencers of the like,
Okay.
So
such.
And I still
have you here. Little old me.
And you said
I'm honored.
You actually even said that you're like, I don't know if I want to be on when you get big.
Yeah. Because I don't need people like knowing about my life.
So I'm not big yet because you're here. Oh my God. So when I ask you and you deny, that's a good thing for me?
Yeah. I'll be like,
come on. I would be irritated if you stopped.
Okay, well, we'll see. You might stop asking.
No.
We'll see.
I don't think so.
The day might come.
Okay, so last time you were on, was it our chin surgery reveal?
That is the last time.
Okay, that was in like February. Yeah. So make sure we're on the wide shot.
This is my bad side.
How do we... We look great.
Yeah, it looks great.
We look great. How do you feel about it? You're happy?
I'm happy. We were, for a while there, we were both like, there's a little ledge.
I still see that.
You still see that? I don't really. I still see a little like it could be tightened, but we are, or I'm a little older than you. I think it's just the next step would be a facelift.
Whoa.
I mean, not anytime soon, but I mean like,
yeah,
I think
it did what it could do.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I still need to lose a couple pounds.
Yeah.
And then
if you haven't, I don't know what episode that is. I need to be better about this mental note, but we got chin liposuction. We got chin liposuction and then we did a reveal.
And it was like, leading up to it.
Yeah.
We were talking about it on the first episode that I was on.
Yeah, we just wanted
throwing around the idea.
And then we did it.
And then we booked it. And then the next episode was strapped up, out of surgery. And around that time-ish is when you got a boyfriend. Yeah.
So I do think we mentioned it slightly on that podcast, and then we didn't go back again. But
because it was funny getting a boyfriend and then being like, I'm going in a chin liposuction.
Yeah, and wasn't he just so sweet? Like, he just was like, you don't need it. Don't do it.
Yeah, he was like, don't do it.
Not like in a controlling way, like in a like, you're beautiful way.
It was sweet. And I was like, it's already booked. It's been booked before we started dating.
Sorry.
So it's happening.
He's great.
Yeah. Do you like him?
I do. Awkward. No, I really do.
He wants you to come to his birthday party. It's on Thursday.
Oh my God.
We're having lobster rolls by the pool. I'm going to make lobster rolls and crab cakes. And we're
I'm free.
just gonna like hang out by the pool.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Wait, in the daytime?
No, nighttime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I have a job, an office job.
Yeah.
Can't.
Nighttime.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
I was like trying to get him to do something because he like isn't good at planning stuff, and he's got 2 kids and he has parents. So I was like, am I gonna
Unlike
hang out
us,
with
we
you?
don't have parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those commitments, like required commitments. You know?
God, thank
I'm
God
just
we
like
don't have those.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, I can just like do whatever I want.
Yeah.
You know, no requirements. But I was like, do I get to hang out with you on your birthday, or are you hanging out with your parents or your kids? Like, what's the deal? And he like wouldn't plan. And then I was like, I know he loves lobster rolls. So I was like, what if I made lobster rolls?
You dangled a carrot.
Yeah.
And
like you couldn't, you know, your parents could come over, your kids could just come over. He's like, yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
And then he was like, you know, you can invite people if you want to my apartment.
And did he say specifically Paige?
Yeah, he did. Invite P. He said, you can invite
P. See?
He calls you P.
Thank you. No, I very much enjoy Marco, and I love your guys' relationship. I mean, we don't need to get too far into that because you guys aren't as open as I am. But
I feel like we've like had our ups and downs, but we're pretty solid at this point.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's
You know what I
very normal.
learned?
Tell me.
And I feel like this is something that you need to consider.
Okay.
Is like maybe we have an idea of who we need to be with or whatever. But like our personality traits, like for me, like I'm pretty hard and like not lovable. Not that I'm not lovable.
You're not fluffy.
I mean, I'm not fluffy. But like, and he's very fluffy. Like very fluffy. Like I don't know how to.
He's very sweet.
Yeah, very sweet. But like, what if I dated somebody that was not fluffy as well? We would never speak. We would never tell each other anything. We would just hate each other. Like I would never tell him I like him. He would never tell me he liked me, and it would never go anywhere because I'd be like closed off, you know? So I feel like I need to have somebody that's a little fluffy to like make me more fluffy.
But I'm fluffy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just like maybe entertaining somebody that maybe isn't who you think is the right person for you.
Yeah,
you know?
no, we are going to. I haven't been on the dating apps for a few. I don't even know, maybe 3-4 months at this point.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I think it was just like got to be too much, and then as far as leading up to the live show, I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, it's just not intentional. I wasn't being intentional, and I was easily irritated. So I want to get back on. So I'm having you and Carolina back on soon, and you're gonna help me make my dating profile. Like, help me choose
what
good
we need
photos.
to do is make your dating profile and then also put red flag non-negotiables that you have to swipe off of if you see
not on
these
my
things.
profile. You're saying like
The requirements
I need a
of-
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A list of things
That's
that you're not allowed.
I know. I'm
go
open
for.
to some help. I'm open to some differences.
Yeah. Okay.
I still have to be attracted to the person.
What about Fantasy Dating League? Is there anybody that can still do it with you? Would you want to do it still?
I could start back up. We also did an episode on Fantasy Dating League. If you go back and search that in Spotify,
Which
can
was
listen to that
it was a
episode.
wonderful dating thing that we made up to like make us focus on dating.
Yeah, and it worked.
really worked.
No,
It really worked.
really worked.
Yeah.
No, I would totally do it again.
I think you should find people to do Fantasy Dating League with.
I don't know that many single people.
Kristen wants to do it.
Okay.
Who else? I feel like there's
My
other people.
therapist
Your
said this to
sister.
me. when you go out with all your single friends, where do you go? And I was like, I really don't have that many single friends. Like, Rachel is single.
We honestly
Not you.
do have a lot of single friends.
Who?
Rachel, Michelle.
Oh yeah. Okay, those two.
I mean, that's a lot.
But I have so many different groups of friends, and like
and they're not single.
they're not single.
Yeah,
like
they're
I'm
all
even friends with like
hitched up.
them and their husbands. You know what I mean? Which is like so crazy that their husbands haven't set me up. So it's just like crazy. It's weird.
What's going on with sand volleyball? Are you not doing it at all anymore?
Well, we stopped. We took a break. I think we're open to getting back, but then it was summer. Can you imagine playing volleyball in the sand?
No, you did it
in
last year.
I know, but this summer is so much hotter.
No, I know. I couldn't even come watch you.
I know.
I don't know how you
So
were playing.
We might pick it up. We've been talking about doing like a pickup game, just like to get back in.
Well, I think maybe like
I want to start doing new fun things.
get a different lead. Get a different team.
Oh, like a people that I don't know?
Yeah.
So I can meet new people?
Because you met so many people through your...
But I like my team.
I know, but, you know, it was a really good way for you to meet people. Yeah. I feel like they all matched up.
Not from the team. They knew each other outside. Together before? Yeah. They came, 2 couples and me. Always. It's the story of my life. I know.
I always want to invite you to everything that me and Marco do.
I know. Won't it be so fun?
He likes you to be there all the time.
Won't it be so fun when I have a boyfriend that like we can do couple things together?
Yeah, that would be fun.
I'm so excited for that.
I'm scared I won't like him.
Oh, I was like, wait, who?
Your future.
Yeah, that'll suck. That'll be weird. But I wouldn't want to date somebody that like I wouldn't like. I want him to be a likable person. I'm not saying he has to get along amazingly with every single one of my friends. But yeah, absolutely. Like I'm a social person. I would want someone to be social and friendly and like able to, but I'm also happy to be at home and, you know, with Pedro. So
just with Pedro.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Pedro's going to restrict your dating life because he takes up so much of your time? You know, we used to say this about your podcast. Are you dating your podcast? Are you now dating your podcast and Pedro?
Yes, but part of the reason moving to a studio and outsourcing production and help was so I could have more time to do more efficient podcast things. Like someone can edit so I can look for people to pay for this podcast. Let's go.
Who are we looking for? Cheez-Its? I mean, put it out there.
Cheez-Its. I love Cheez-Its. I actually have a great photo of me and Cheez-Its. Shout out Love Island.
Well, maybe you can't have Cheez-Its because Cordell is going to get Cheez-Its, obviously.
Cordell and I could both do Cheez-Its.
I don't know if
you guys don't watch Love Island USA, you're missing out.
But there was like TikToks that Cheez-Its was like, they were commenting on stuff.
Oh, yeah. He's going to have a deal.
He's going to be the face
Absolutely.
of Cheez-Its.
Good for him.
But who would you, if you could think of anything?
Oh, my God.
But like random. What would it be?
Swedish Fish?
Is that? I've never even seen you. Oh, I guess you brought them to the packing day.
Yeah. I fuck with Swedish Fish.
Okay.
And it's weird because they taste like nothing, but like they also taste like so much.
Yeah, they really are good. I do get them.
Eat them. Shovel them.
Shovel. Do you like candies like that? Do you like candies like that?
I mean, like gummies? No, I mean, I really just like Swedish Fish.
I've gotten obsessed because now I live right next to Central Market, so it is my main grocery store that I go to all the time. I know, but whatever. They have a candy aisle, you know?
Yeah.
And I always have a thing of candy now. And I'm not a candy. I mean, I'll do chocolate. I'll do, you know, stuff like that. But I usually don't do gummy candies. And now I always have a container of gummy candies that I'm just like, have a couple at night.
Yeah.
And they're good.
I feel like that's very
Sometimes I'll put a couple Swedish Fish in there, but
do you know what I mean?
Old age.
Yeah, to like have a little treat every night.
Yeah, like 5. Really I give myself like 5 gummies.
Yeah, like every night I need a little sweet treat. That just reminds me of my
I'm going to have that box of those strawberry candies that like grandmas have.
Yes.
Those are so good though.
But that's how it happens.
Yeah.
We have to stop that.
No, what's wrong with that? Having a little candy? Sometimes I just get like a really expensive chocolate bar and then I'll like snap off like 3 pieces, you know? And that's what I'll have.
Right.
As like a treat.
Okay.
I'm into this like coconut sea salt one.
Yum.
Like a dark chocolate coconut sea salt. And it's like so salty and sweet.
But you always go for quality over quantity. You do. No, quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And I just will shovel anything in my face. You know?
Yeah. Marco gets mad at me because we walk around Central Market and I just like grab stuff. And he's like, oh my God, that's, you know, it's $20. And I'm like, we don't look at prices here.
Yeah.
We get what we want to get.
Taste.
We get what we want to get.
We're all definitely go to the sale section first.
You will? Of a grocery store?
Not a grocery store.
I literally do not look at prices in the grocery store. I'm not going to get one bread over another. I'm going to get that bread because I want to get that bread. I'm not going to get it because it's $3 cheaper than the other bread.
When I walk up to like the vegetables or something and
you look at pricing?
I mean, I'm just like, I don't know. I didn't know that I was, but now that we're having this conversation, I absolutely am like, cucumbers for $2.09 or cucumbers for $1.29. I'll take the $1.29.
Sometimes I won't get the organic if I think it's just like crazy, like celery or something like that. That's just like, you know, it's just outrageous. But I'm generally not. If I want strawberries, I'm going to get strawberries. You know, I'm not looking at the prices. Lemons are crazy though. 3 for $2 or something. Like it's crazy.
What is going on in this world?
I know. How do people afford to live at all? Really?
I saw this girl that I know who did a podcast, and she was like, you have to make, as a couple with any kids, like making $100,000 is too low. She's like, you just can't afford like living like $100,000 salary like in 2 children. You can't do it. And I was like, I couldn't agree more. Like,
literally.
I can. I mean, I make.
Same. How
around
would I have a child? How could I support a child?
Couldn't.
No. And like, I don't live a luxurious. I go to the grocery store and I don't look at prices.
Yeah.
And like, I go to dinners when I want to go to dinners. But like, I'm not into expensive bags. I don't drive.
Thank God. You'd be broke.
Car. Yeah, I don't do any of that stuff. And like,
you'd be broke.
Yeah, I'd be broke.
That was one of my main concerns when I got Pedro, was how am I going to support this child?
Honestly.
It's so expensive.
I had a dog for a second.
I know.
And I did spend a lot of money.
And you gave me the leftovers.
I know. But I did spend probably like $1,000 in like the month that I had this dog.
I know.
On like all new stuff.
Yeah. We've talked about before, you had Winnie who passed away. God rest her soul.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
The best girl that ever was.
And you were thinking about getting her stuffed. Thank God you didn't.
It would have been great.
Thank God you didn't.
Sometimes I do just think, you know, those photos always pop up on like Google, you know, a year ago today.
Yeah. So sad.
Yeah.
I can't even think about the fact that Pedro will die soon because, I mean, one day.
How old is he?
He's like 2 to 3. They
oh,
think.
Baby.
I need to pick one. Is he 2 or is he 3?
Well, that's what they told me. Like when I got Winnie, they were like, we think she's around a year. I never gave her a birthday though. I'm a bad dog mom.
His birthday is when I got
When
him
you
from
got
the
him.
rescue.
Say 2. You always go under.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, you did have a dog. It didn't work out.
No, because I live in this apartment building. We talked about this last time I was on. I got
a great apartment.
Yeah,
You're
live
so
in this
excited
great
about.
apartment that I love this apartment. And there's so many dogs in this apartment. And it's across the street from like this just big open field that everybody takes their dogs. And literally like you can't walk down the hallway without seeing a dog. I can't get into the elevator
It's a very
dog
friendly
there.
apartment.
Everybody's dogs are, because they're all like older, so their dogs have been around, you know, everybody just like hangs out with their dog off leash. And this dog that I was fostering in the hopes that I was going to keep.
Yeah, same thing that I did with
was very aggressive towards other dogs. And I didn't know that when I first got him. He was still like scared. And then it became very apparent that he really did not like any other dogs. And it was
it
terrible.
just was not possible. It wasn't, you couldn't continue living.
I know,
like
really
that.
sad.
I know. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
A bad person.
No, you're not a bad person because you agreed to foster the dog and hopefully keep, right? Like that's what I did with Pedro. Mine worked out. Like, but I remember there was a time where the rescue reached out. It was like 2 weeks after I got Pedro. Like, hey, you want to adopt him? You know, because I was fostering with intention to adopt.
Right.
And they're like, you ready to sign the papers? And I was like, I'm not ready because he just got, neutered and he's still just like, he seems pretty calm, but like I haven't got the chance to socialize him with other dogs and people yet, and I need more time. So I took that time, and it worked out for Pedro and I both that he is not dog aggressive and not people aggressive. But I'm telling you, I would have been in the same boat with you.
Yeah.
If he was aggressive and not really trainable, and also like you're just at a different point in your life where you really just don't have that time to invest and train and.
I like went through it a little bit this summertime, I feel like. And I just thought that I could take this endeavor on and then could not take this endeavor on.
But you tried.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's off the table in the future, but you're just not at the dog aggressive in a dog apartment. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I won't get another dog until I leave this apartment, and I don't plan on leaving this apartment soon.
Perfect.
Me and Marco talked about, that's his name.
We've said it before. You've said it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
We've talked just like a little bit about moving in together.
Oh.
But like I live in a 1-bedroom apartment right now.
Yeah.
And I've said like, I don't want to live with you in a 1-bedroom apartment.
No.
But my other...
Especially like not you.
No.
You know what I mean? Like doable for
I need space.
You need space.
But his apartment is just like a boy apartment, It's not like... I decorate my apartment. I feel like I've gotten furniture.
You were
over like
crazy. You had that apartment done like the day you
in a
moved
day.
in.
But like everything I've gotten has been over time, and I like my furniture, and I really like search for it, and I like the way my apartment looks, and I want it to feel comfortable. And I was like, okay, well, if we moved in together, then you would have to throw away every single thing that you own. So,
and was he like, okay?
I mean, I think he laughed at it.
But he also doesn't really appreciate that you throw things away so frivolously.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like, maybe he'll want, he's not a hoarder. However, he doesn't throw things away and maybe keep things that I would be like, just get rid of it.
Like me, maybe.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
So I don't know how he would feel about getting rid of like everything in his.
Well, he could put it into a small storage unit and pay for it. And then when he gets over paying for it.
Well, he has a storage unit too.
Oh.
I know. But that's my, we're not moving in together until you can't bring anything. Is that unfair, do you think?
Yeah, it is.
Do you think? But what if he doesn't really care about decorating and I really care about decorating? Don't I get more of a say?
You guys need to, I mean, I don't know. Like, you have to figure that out. But, like, you telling him he can't bring anything into the space you guys move into together is wild.
He has a king-size bed, so he can bring that. And then I'll get I'll get new bedding for it.
Okay. In your style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, comfortability.
Yeah.
But that's it.
I mean, it is crazy, but like, I mean, if he agrees, then great.
Yeah. The other thing
but don't stifle him too much.
The other thing is he was married before.
Yeah.
And so a lot of this furniture was from his previous relationship. So like, get rid of it.
Yeah. That
get
makes
rid
sense. Get rid of it. Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah. But I guess there were other people that like hung out on my furniture.
Not other people hung out on your furniture. Wow. Oh my God. Wait, speaking of, okay, so I told you a little bit about, and I said this in my last solo episode 101. I talked about Romania was back in the picture. If you know, you know.
Oh,
Romania guy, basketball, Romania. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Something came to light, and I just need to update the Whiners. So
I'm shaking my head already.
I know you're so right. You're so right.
Because it's just so silly.
Anyway, so a podcast listener ended up following me on my personal page, and I went to look at her profile and follow her back. And then I realized that we had 2 mutual friends, and I was like, oh, how do you know these 2 people? And she said,
yeah, but you're not telling us you hung out with him.
Sorry, I did. I did. On episode 101, I hung out with an old flame.
I'm behind.
You're fine.
Okay.
Oh, you're behind. You're not listening.
I'm listening.
Oh my God, because she doesn't like my podcast. Just kidding. On episode 101, I talked about I hung out with an old flame, Romania. He came back. And so a week later, the podcast listener follows me on my personal page. And
thank God for podcast listeners.
Thank God for podcast listeners.
Thank God for
my Whiners. So I she had 2 mutual friends. I was like, oh, how do you know A and B? And she's like, oh, I used to date both of them at some point in time. And I was like, oh, me too. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, I had to block one of them. Then they got a little crazy. And I was like, oh, not me. I didn't have to block that, whatever.
But that wasn't Romania.
Wasn't Romania. It was a different guy. And so basically I was like, do I want to dig into this or not? Because Romania and I left it off on like, I felt really good and healthy about the way that we left it. Wasn't like, we did leave saying we were going to continue talking and be like more serious about making each other a priority. Okay. But like,
you did say that?
We did. We did.
Which is so silly. I don't know why
silly.
You have these boys come in town and you have a good night, which you're allowed to do. You can have a good night. However, why are you trying to talk about like what we're going to be when these people are in town for like a day, a week?
I know you're right.
It's so
I'm
silly.
an idiot.
Why are we even talking about this?
I know.
And like also, you want to be in a relationship with a man that lives in Romania? These losers are like dicking around in Houston when they live in Houston. You don't think somebody's going to be dicking around in Romania?
For sure.
Okay, finish your story.
Anyway, so she ends up saying like, oh yeah, I was supposed to see that person.
Me and Marco do talk shit about you when it comes to this.
It comes out. And
there was like a concert the other night. It was something like, I don't even know what it was, but like a 90s hip hop like rapper something. Okay. And Marco was like, oh, and I was like, I'm not going. He was like, we could go. Paige could come. And
yeah, Marco, you can invite me.
She could come and we could find her a boyfriend. I'm like, we're not finding her a boyfriend at this rap concert.
Why?
Because
Why?
Because these boys just want to mess around.
I know. Okay, so no music, no athletes.
No music, no athletes. I guess you can find somebody at a concert, but...
Yeah, another concert goer.
Whatever.
Okay, anyway, basically, she's like, I was supposed to hang out with so-and-so Romania guy. And I was like, well, I ended up hanging out with him. And she's like, ugh. She's like, well, I got messages if you want to see. And I was like, I kind of do. Like, and he's not doing anything wrong. Like, he can go dick down 100 girls if he wants. We're not together. But I just wanted to see the timeline issue. And it was a big issue. He was in communication with me and her within minutes, within hours of each other, on his way over to my house, but also still trying to go dick her down. And he did end up dicking me down, which is disgusting. And
did he talk to her after?
I didn't see those messages. Probably.
How long was he in town for?
3 nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
anyway,
why do you think that he's coming in town and he like has to see you when you guys haven't
I
spoken?
didn't assume that. That's what I'm saying. He's not doing anything wrong. I'm just grossed out by it, and so I'm done. Like I feel good. I still feel good. I'm happy I did it. I'm happy I saw him because the book is closed.
Yeah.
Chapter's done. Book is
like,
closed.
You're allowed to have fun. Have fun.
But basically, he had taken one of my Adultish Wines merch hoodies, and I was like, "That's $40. Don't forget." And he like left with it, and I was like, "You can take a hat, but don't take a hoodie. Like take a hat for free, but don't take a hoodie." And I was saying on episode 101 how like sexy it was because he looked good in it, right? But then when I found out this information from the girl, I messaged him and I was like, "Good morning. Don't forget to pay me for the hoodie." And he's like, "Really, Paige?" And I was like, "Yeah, really. $40." And he said,
"Yeah, he didn't take you out to dinner."
He didn't even make me come.
Oh, is that easy for you? We've talked about
it's not,
before.
But the first night we hung out,
he did.
Yeah, best night of my life. First night.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why you keep running back to him.
Yeah.
You're trying to recreate.
And now I know it can't be recreated.
Yeah. It was just one of those times.
Yeah, it was just a fluke.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, so then I said $40 for the hoodie, bitch. I didn't say that, but I was like, send me, and he sent me $39. That pissed me off more than the other thing.
And you haven't talked since.
Well, then I said, like, by the way, like, I'm over this, blah, 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 blah. And he never responded because what can you say? There's nothing to be said.
Yeah.
No, and so we haven't talked.
The best response is no response. Stop talking to these animals. Stop talking to these people.
These animals. The giggles from the producers are going to get me.
They are. He comes in town for 3 nights. How many other girls do you think he was trying to fuck when he was here?
So sure, but I just don't like seeing the timeline in front of my face. Gross. You're on your way to my house and you're still talking about like potentially stopping at another girl's house.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's what I don't like. I'm sure he did have sex with many other girls, but like I don't like that you would like literally be bopped around.
We do have to figure out what it is that you like about these people so that you can stop liking them.
I think it's that they're not emotionally available and assholes.
Yeah. What does your therapist say about this?
That I need to choose differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're working on it. We're going to make it. You guys are going to help me with the dating profile, and I'm going to be looking for other
But it's
things.
not just about the dating profile. It's about who you choose.
Right.
Because I like your dating profiles. We've done this before.
Right, but who I'm choosing on these dating profiles.
Yeah.
And who I'm attracting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So stay tuned for that. But anyway, that's
tuned.
the update on Romania. He's donezo. Kristen Cavallari Laguna Beach.
Until the next time.
No. Until the next guy, not him.
Did you see that Kristen Cavallari is still dating that
Montana man?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Did you see her most recent like TikTok?
No.
She's like in love and doesn't care who knows it.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Good for her. I mean,
except like, have you seen him on things? He just seems like
he's very young.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But good for her.
She already did it. She already procreated. I mean, like, have fun. Enjoy your life.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah. Agreed.
Actually, I love that because Kristen Cavallari has a podcast. Forget what it's called. But she basically went on like her social and she was like, oh my God, we had an audio issue. Like she was just being transparent about something that happened. And I was like, oh, it happens to everyone. Celebs are just like us.
Just like us.
Yeah.
They podcast. They have trouble.
Yeah. It made me feel good. But I won't be having those issues anymore. because we're here in a professional studio.
For sure.
Okay, so
wine.
There's one right here.
Okay.
Sorry, it's not an ice though. I need to get an ice bucket. You want me to? Okay, I should be pouring for you. Okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to set us up for. We have a good friend who had someone pass away. Tragically, it was absolutely terrible and awful. And we just recently went to the funeral service at a Catholic church. Is that correct? Catholic church?
Yeah, it was Catholic.
And if you guys know me
it was
at
the
all,
Catholic church that like I grew up going to, that like most of our hometown grew up going to, you know?
Yeah. And I just didn't grow up going to any sort of church.
Yeah.
And so I was really looking to you to lead me.
Well, I mean, I grew up going to the Catholic church. However, I stopped going to church. This is terrible. I stopped going to church in 6th grade. I was the baby of my family. I have 3 older siblings, and they're all 2 years older. So my oldest brother, you know, is 6 years ahead of me. And we used to go to mass on Sunday nights, and it started at 6 p.m. But you know what also started at 6 p.m. was The Simpsons. And so we used to like get in a fight with our mom about going to church every Sunday.
Missing church with The Simpsons.
Yeah. So finally, I know. So finally our mom like gave in and was like, we're not going to church anymore. So we went to church until I was in 6th grade, and then we never went to church again because she was sick of hearing from us. So I haven't been to Catholic church really since 6th grade. So I'm sorry that I steered you wrong. It's been a while. And
it's fine.
I thought the rules were more loosey-goosey. The church that we used to go to was like kind of a historic church, and they had rebuilt this like cooler, new, big church. And you know, like I thought that their rules were less strict.
I just wish I would have known, and that it's on me. I just thought I don't know why I thought you knew. I don't know why, but basically, you know, you're up, I've been to a Catholic wedding before, so you're kneeling, you're singing, you're sitting, you're standing, you're doing all the things, which like
they do mass.
Yeah, okay, mass. We did it all, and then they say to come eat the. What do they say?
It's the body of Christ.
Yes,
it's communion.
Yes,
you're taking communion.
Come take communion.
Yeah. But they had even said, and it was kind of confusing.
I was confused because he said if you are here and you are of a different religion,
you can take communion.
And walk up with your hands crossed.
Yeah.
Or you can stay seated, or you can come up and take communion. And I looked at you and I was like, "Are you going?" And you were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Should I go?" And you were like, "Yeah, you can go."
I was like, "Come on."
Yeah, because you were just like casual about it. You're not like you didn't tell me like, "Yeah, you should go." But I was like, "Okay, like I believe in a higher power. I'll get on up there. I'll saddle up." You know,
body of Christ.
Yeah, let me get that body.
Yeah.
And so anyway, walked up, and I was just taking everyone else's lead. I was just watching what they were doing, but I guess I wasn't seeing the front of them. So walked up, and I guess you did like a little bow situation and put your hands out. Everyone who takes communion knows, and you're an idiot, Paige. But like, I just bowed a little bit and like didn't put my hand out. And then he like,
did you not put your hand out?
No,
I literally told you cup. You walk up and you cup.
He looked at me and he jolted his eyes like, hello. And so then I put my hand out. He put it in my hand. And then I turned and I walked away. And Rachel was behind me. And he said,
he was like, is she going to take? Is she going to?
Like he said under his breath. Like,
no, not really even under his breath.
Oh my God.
Like we have to talk to the people that were in the front row.
Oh my God.
But he was like, is she going to receive? Is she going to receive? Because you just had it in your hands and you didn't put it in your mouth and you were walking away. And
I put it in my mouth.
He literally was looking at you. He wasn't giving me communion. He was waiting for you to take communion. And you walked away. You probably walked 10 steps. He was almost about to come after you.
Oh my God.
And then you stuck it in your mouth. And then he gave me my communion. But I was like, girl's about to get in trouble.
First of all, I think if you're going to welcome different denominations to your church,
shouldn't have been so hardcore about it.
Shouldn't be so hardcore about it. And I think you should also tell the rules.
Maybe he feels like you shouldn't have taken communion.
Now I wish I wouldn't have. What an embarrassing, I'm the embarrassing stock of the family.
And like the wafers aren't even good, right?
No, disgusting.
No, what I tell people.
And also I was expecting wine.
Yeah, they used to do wine. But I think after COVID, Because they would make everybody drink out of the same cup. It was weird. They would like drink out of the cup and then he'd just wipe it with a rag and somebody else would drink. Isn't that weird, don't you think?
It's very weird.
Yeah.
I'm not.
These wafers, you know, like how cocktails can have like a logo on the top.
Yeah.
You've seen that. And literally that's what I hate them. I think they're disgusting. If you watch Real Housewives of Orange County, she was like drinking an espresso martini and had a wafer and she was like, what is this? Like spit it out. But when people ask to add that to one of their packages, I'm like, look, we can do that. I'm happy to order those things for you. However, like, have you ever been to a Catholic church? Have you ever had like one of the wafers? That is what it tastes like. I'm like, yeah, it's a disgusting wafer that you put on top of your cocktail. It's terrible. Why would you want to do that?
Well, what is the significance of it? You're accepting the body of Christ?
Yeah. You're asking the wrong person.
Okay, right. I can't even count on you.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
I'm going to be giving
if I wasn't going to hell before, I'm certainly going now.
Well, I don't think you're going to hell. However, maybe don't take communion in a Catholic church again.
But I just didn't want to be the person
Your shoulders were also showing and your tattoos were just out and about, loud and proud.
I also asked you about that, and you said you're fine because you're not Catholic.
Yeah, and we were going, like, it was...
What the hell?
It wasn't... There were other people who had their shoulders showing.
Is the shoulders thing? That's a thing.
Sometimes I like when people do things just so like I can see what happens, you know?
Yeah, so it's like not so much a shit talker or a ball buster. It's like setting me up for fucking failure.
Well, I just want to see like what transpires, you know? Like, yeah.
Like, what if somebody
show your shoulders
out of the woodwork and tackled me? Yeah, show their shoulders at church, Catholic church.
Yeah, take communion. I mean, what are they going to do? Arrest you?
Maybe.
No. What's the worst that can happen? He chases you down
the pews
and forces you to take the communion?
Like in my mouth? Oh
honestly.
My God. It just flashed.
What if he would have followed you and tapped you and been like, are you going to receive?
I don't know what it would have done. Anyway, I'm the embarrassing human that was at that funeral that shouldn't have taken communion.
It's fine. Now you've done it.
Now I know.
Now you've done it.
So now I'll just sit there.
Yeah.
And that's not disrespectful.
No, you're supposed to. Honestly, I'm not even supposed to take communion.
You are said I'm supposed to, but you are the one who told me to go.
I'm not even supposed to take communion.
You're wild.
Rules. Rules.
You're a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
What else?
You mentioned earlier, is Pedro going to get in the way of my dating?
Oh, yeah. Because you're spending a lot of time with Pedro.
I mean, I really don't. Like, I work.
Yeah.
From home sometimes.
Have you started taking him to the dog park?
I took him once. He did great.
Okay. But you haven't taken him again?
It's just so hot that my hours don't
It really is. This is a terrible time to have a dog.
Yeah, I mean, he really only goes outside like on a walk 3 times a day, and I have him on my patio, which he loves.
Do you think we'll be able to like take him to bars and restaurants? Like when
that's
it's
why
nicer out?
I'm working hard with him inside my house so I can take him to bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
And he can be my little companion. But I mean, he's so low key. He's just chill.
Mailman, FedEx, all.
It's really mailmen, USPS.
USPS specifically.
Yeah.
I hate them too.
Yes, all of us do. On his intake paperwork, it said stray dog preventing mail from being delivered.
Yeah.
At residence.
That was his origin
I don't know if
story.
So I don't know if it was Pedro that was the problem or if it was the mailman. Like, I'm giving room. I'm holding room for 2 truths.
Obviously not Pedro's fault.
It could have been. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying now he has that in his head and he just doesn't.
Well, you know, Winnie, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
And I don't know if I've said this before when we've talked about her, but when I used to take her for walks and stuff, like sometimes she would be aggressive towards usually other dogs, but not all the time. Like I would take her around Memorial and like, you know, 3 out of 20 she would be aggressive with. And I always said like, well, that was a bad dog.
Yeah.
You know, so bad mailman. Maybe Pedro knows something that.
Maybe he does. But anyway, I love him so much and he's a perfect angel and really doesn't do anything wrong. I told you about the dog walker.
Is he laying in your bed? Still not allowed.
No.
Laying on
He
his
does
side
not
of
lay
the
on my
couch?
bed. He lays on his side of the couch. However, lately I've been like putting a blanket, like leaving my blanket out that I use, like kind of, I just haven't been putting it away.
Mhm.
And he's taken it upon himself to like, yeah, I think he's thinking like, Mom, this is a blanket. And so he gets on it, but he like is so good about only laying on that part of the blanket because he's like, I'm not on the couch.
There's
I'm
rules.
not on the couch. But
That's
I'm
what I
"Get
like
back
about
over to
you,
your
Paige.
spot."
There are rules.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. There should be rules.
Yeah, and my sisters, when they were in town for the live show, they were even like, wow, you're like still keeping up with, like, you're just like, you're a little psycho about it. And I was like, yeah, I am. Which is why I don't understand why that man, the man who I talked to you about, who yelled at me, fuck yous, fuck yous, fuck yous, on the walk. I've told you about that. I think I've told the podcast listeners. Anyway, I decided it was a neighbor. I thought it was a neighbor. It's a dog walker.
That's what we thought, because he had a different dog every time. You need to get his name.
His name is Phil.
Okay. And what is he, just like his own? Does he own his own company?
I don't know, but I ran into my...
Who does he dog walk for? You need to tell those people.
Neighborhood.
Did you find people who he dog walks for and told them that he's a terrible person?
My neighbor was like, she's like, I love how... I ran into her and she's like, I love how you're always like, you're never on your phone with Pedro. Like, you're such a good dog mom. And I was like, oh, I got in a fight with one of our neighbors recently and he called me a bad dog mom. And she's like, what? And I told her the story and she's like, I was like, yeah, one of our neighbors. And she's like, the man you're describing, I don't think he lives here. And I was like, I mean, he definitely does. I see him at 6, at 12, at 8:30. Like, I see him at all hours of the day, different parts of the walk. Like, I see him all the time.
With a different dog.
Well, I've seen him with one.
Same dog.
Sometimes same dog. I don't know. I just thought he maybe was checking. I don't know. But anyway, she's like, that's Bill the dog walker. I'm like,
she knew it.
Bill the dog walker? She's like, we almost used him, but he was too booked. Everyone on our street uses him. And I said, and she goes, I'm going to tell everyone. I was like, you need to tell
everyone.
It's crazy because
you need to tell everyone.
I know I will when I run into them. But she's like, Colin and Claymore. Colin's the guy. Claymore's the dog. And I was like, yeah, that's Pedro's best dog friend out here. And she's like, he walks Claymore sometimes. And I was like, well, wouldn't that have been a crazy surprise if Pedro like ran up to him so excited with a scary dog walker?
I can't believe that dog walker is shaming you for trying to teach your dog on the street.
Thank you. So he's just a terrible, grumpy man who should not be.
Maybe he thinks you're a dog walker and that you're coming into his territory.
Maybe. Oh my God, the dramas of the Heights.
Maybe, okay, are you going to move?
Maybe because I do.
Are you going to move?
I'm going to move.
Yeah. Not just because.
No, I mean, all the Whiners know about my...
Where are you going to move to?
My drama with my property manager. The recent drama is he basically... Our washer and dryer wasn't working. He got it delivered, and I guess it wasn't like fully installed, but we didn't know that. And so we were like asking him, we texted him, emailed him, is it working, is it not? He didn't respond. Then he came and mad that somebody started using the washer. And then I was trying to tell him like, well, we just didn't know, you weren't responsive. Like, people have got to do laundry. Like, we just thought it was done or something. Like, if you could just communicate with us. And then he basically just like stormed off and then drove away and came back. And then I was like, he wasn't listening to me walking away. And so I basically told him like, is this how you run your business? This is how you run your business? And he's like, you're making it worse. I'm like, oh, is that a threat, sir? So yeah, I'm actually going to try and get out of my lease early if I can.
You should. I'm not going to say like, I told you so.
No, you told me so.
But
I told you to say you told me so.
We went apartment hunting and you were looking, you had just been in an apartment that had, an actual apartment community. And you were looking at the single owner. And I was like, look, this can be bad.
And it is. And it was. Yeah. It has been since the day dot.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know where I want to go.
We got to look at that contract.
I got to look at the contract.
Yeah.
But I like the Heights.
Really, your contract probably says who owns your property too. You really need to look at that contract. Okay. Because you're dealing with your property management company right now. Maybe on the contract, it says something about who actually owns that.
Yeah.
And then you guys can get into contact with that person. Because maybe they don't know that this property management guy is terrible at his job.
terrible.
Or maybe it's like his son.
But he ended up like sending us email after he left being like, as you are aware, the washer and dryer was not fully installed. Do not use washer and dryer. And then my downstairs neighbor responded with the crazy. Honestly, like she just matched the energy, but she was like, are you done having a temper tantrum?
And like get a signature.
Get a signature.
Like don't
Is
write.
it even a business?
Don't write me an email without a signature.
Is it even
It looks like spam. Yeah. What are you sending out? Do you even know how to email? Where is your email signature?
So true.
Yeah. It looked like crazy. I haven't gotten an email without an email. Like I didn't even know what I was looking at.
It just looked like a Word doc.
Yeah. It looked like a Word doc.
So true. So anyway, yeah, I'll be moving probably to like a high rise. Not a high rise.
You want to stay in the Heights?
I mean, I do.
There aren't high rises in the
not a high rise. I just mean like a
mid-rise, whatever.
Sure, whatever you call it.
Apartment complex.
A nice apartment complex, not like a one-off.
Yeah.
So we'll see. My lease isn't up until March, so. But now that I don't have my studio in my apartment, I have much more flexibility to like get on the fuck out of there.
Did you ever get that thing so that Pedro is a service dog?
Yep.
Great. So now you can move into another apartment and not pay.
He is. My therapist wrote me a very, it made me sound crazy. And it's true. It's a true letter. But basically, like.
You need this dog for your mental health.
The letter says, like, in my professional opinion, Paige needs a companion to get through life because she has anxiety and depression.
And that is a good therapist. That is a therapist that understands.
I mean, it's true. Like, she hears my innermost thoughts.
Yeah.
If she says it, it's right. Yeah.
Speaking of therapy.
Yeah.
You did an ice bath today?
Yeah, we did yoga and an ice bath.
Uh-huh. How was it? Your first ice bath?
I loved it. I was scared. I thought that from what I've seen on people on Instagram, I thought it was going to be slower. No, I thought it was going to be like, do it for your first time for like a minute or something. I don't know. I thought people stepped up to it.
Yeah. You see people doing like 15-second increments, 30-second.
Yeah, but we did full 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
And I dunked my head afterwards.
Which is crazy.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I want to do it again. I want to do it every day.
Every day. They do it on Saturdays and Sundays.
I know, but people get these for their backyards and do it on their own. It's a lot of work. I mean, like I can't even keep my plants alive. I can't do that. Can't commit to doing that. But
and like we put 10 bags of ice in that ice bath.
Yeah.
20-pound bags of ice.
10, 20-pound bags.
You can come over and purchase ice from me, but still. It's like,
yeah, it's a lot. But no, I loved it. Want to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sore. I've been going to Black Swan Yoga, which I like. It's just very crowded because I'm on ClassPass,
Mm-hmm.
Which,
are you still taking that other class that we took?
Solid Core? I haven't been in a while. Basically since I got Pedro.
I feel like when you post about Black Swan Yoga, I feel like you're cheating on We Thrive Yoga.
The price difference is just large.
But, I'm not a proponent. I mean, I am. I feel like We Thrive's like the best studio. You know that you get, if you do reoccurring unlimited monthly, it's only $128.
Oh, that's not bad because
which
each
they
class...
don't. You have to go to the owner and ask for it because you don't see that online. An unlimited pass for a month is $178 online, but he says if you do recurring, where it just drafts from your bank account, it's only $128.
That's a pretty good deal.
Really good deal for unlimited. I go to if you go to 3 to 4 classes a week.
Yeah, because they're $28 each.
Well, no, the Fire and Ice is $28. I think a normal class is $20.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You're paying for the ice.
You're paying for the ice,
and it's an hour and 15 minutes rather than 60 minutes.
Okay.
It's a longer class.
It was long, ice. But I loved it. And Mandy is amazing.
You didn't. I didn't. I mean, I wasn't paying attention to you during the class, but you don't turn over.
The 3-legged upward dog or something?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
We need to teach you. It's really easy. You do back bends.
You weren't looking at me.
Bridges.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking at you, but you posted that video and I was like, she didn't.
I don't know how to get to that position. I've never tried it.
We'll do it after. There's a carpet. It's really easy. And you do bridges. So I can get into bridge from that.
I mean, I'll give it a go. It's just like it wasn't the time to try something new.
I feel like you've done it before.
Never done it. Never done a 3-legged, whatever that is.
3-legged dog.
3-legged dog? Is that
no, and then it's I don't know all
Yeah.
the names.
So
when they say
I'm
it, I
scared.
know what to do.
I'm scared. We're out of time.
That's
Give
it?
me your wine of the week.
Oh my God, 55 minutes. I don't have one.
Give me.
I never have one.
You do.
What did we say?
Everything.
What is my wine of the week? Oh,
See? I knew.
I feel like we've talked about this before. I hate car anything, but let me tell you a story.
Okay.
So my power steering was going out and I was like, shit, power steering fluid. I just kept filling it up and I was like, and you even said, you know, I get stuff fixed really quickly. And I do. I don't like when things are wrong with my car. Yeah. So I just like take it in. So I took it into a place and they were like, this is wrong. This has a leak. This has a leak. They quoted me $3,800. And mind you, this is a place right by my office. So I was almost about to be like, just do it. I was about to go out of town. And then when I got back in town, like I used my car for work. So like I need my car. So I was this close to being like, go ahead and do it. I didn't.
Thank God.
Yeah,
because
I didn't. I took it to this other place and they checked it out and they were like, yeah, I just needed to tighten this thing. Really, like, he was like, it was dirty. I cleaned everything up, but like there was no leak. It was just loose. I tightened it. $200. $200.
But wait, last time I was with you, there was like a big leakage happening.
Yeah, it wasn't a leak.
Oh,
that was the thing. They were one place was going to charge me $3,800. They said that 2 different parts were broken. They had to replace both. And then I took it somewhere else and they were like, I just needed to tighten a hose.
Wow.
And they charged me
How are we supposed to know
$100. How do we trust anybody? How do we trust men? How do we trust car people?
Mechanics?
Yeah. Mechanics? How do we trust
Nobody
anybody?
can be trusted.
Nobody can be trusted. Yeah.
I always say I want a mechanic in the family. That's the one thing I'm missing.
I know. That's how I
Got
feel
a
too.
hairstylist. You know, like now I have someone who owns a studio in the like in the family, in the close circle.
Yeah, who's like not going to take advantage of you.
Right. Still paying a fair rate, but like not, being taken advantage of.
I know. We need one. We need to get one. I need one for
Maybe
sure.
I'll look for that in my next boyfriend.
A mechanic.
I'm into it.
Are you?
Someone who works with their hands, gets a little dirty.
I mean, I like that. Maybe like owns his own shop.
Okay.
Are you like a blue collar?
No.
Do you have like I say that too. You want a white collar? No, you want an athlete. You want something.
No, I don't. I don't want an athlete or a music artist. I want a nice man.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody who's like works at a bank or something.
I always had that too. You don't want that.
Okay, we have to go. We'll continue.
I think like somebody who is in some kind of artistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is artistic in some way.
I wouldn't mind like an entrepreneur.
For sure.
Okay. We have to go. Cheers. We never did that to begin with. And I couldn't help but notice
having me.
You didn't pour me one when you poured yourself wine.
You didn't ask for any.
It's just insinuated.
I didn't know you wanted any.
It's okay. Thank you so much for coming again.
Thank you so much for having me. How many times is this? Just so that we can tell Dr. Viviana
and Carolina.
Yeah.
Is this 4 or 5?
4.
This is 4. Okay. Thanks for coming on a 4th time. Great idea, Redhead Rachel.
Thanks for having me. Congratulations on the new space.
Thank you.
Love it.
Love it. Obviously, you can follow her at Traveling Spirit Bar.
www.
I'll put her shit in the show notes. You know where to find her. Love you guys. See you next Thursday. Bye.